I'm totally fine with nothing being told about me, just like Abby.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Like, I think I like that, yeah.
Well, in that case, I think we're just gonna like kind of try
And
to
I think it also kind of lends to the topics that we're talking about.
just be an Abby.
Yeah, to just be Abby, like, yeah,
I love that. Well, because
yeah.
like
I think it's fitting.
and I think that we can kind of use this as kind of like a cold open moment because like we're gonna this is episode 35 of the Mutant Manifesto, and yeah, I'm here with like
Yeah.
long term bestie Abby,
Yeah.
and we're gonna be talking about Sheila Heti's novel Pure Color and her like bird, fish, bear personality type kind of system that she coins with this novel, or that her protagonist
And
coins,
and later Leaf.
and later Leaf. Um, because it's like this is one of those things, like me and Abby, when we were like talking on the phone, she's brought up a couple other like thought experiments that come from novels that you're reading or whatever, right, Abby? Like, and it's just like really fun to
Yeah.
be able to like take a structure from something you're reading and just easily kind of export it to your friends and be like, okay, here's this system for like this kind of epistemological system, or like this like personality type thing, or for Sheila Heti, these 3 or 4 categories are like styles through which you critique the world. So we're gonna get into them, and it just is so fun to be able to like live with that, and like to let that impact like how you see yourself and those around you, and like public figures and stuff, and like let it kind of bleed from the novel into your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Also, so interesting that these styles are like it's ways in which you critique the world, but once you start to think about them, you are critiquing yourself as well.
totally. Well, you were just
Yeah.
saying that like you were just saying like, okay, like I'm just Abby for the purpose of this conversation in this episode, and how that kind of connects to this like leaf stuff. And we're gonna get into these 3 categories: bird, fish, and bear. But you have been mentioning this leaf thing. You've been kind of on it like for a while, even outside of this episode. So like, do you want to just do a quick like preview of like, I don't know, is that related somewhat to just being an Abby?
Yeah, I'm fixated on the leaf now. Like I wasn't as reading, like while I was reading, but I'm fixated on the leaf now because when I ask the question and like of like, are you a bird, bear, or fish? Everyone like seems to like everyone wants to be the other thing that they're not.
Mm-hmm. And this is a big theme we'll be talking
And
about. Yeah.
yeah, and like the leaf is like as I like when I reread it, I'm like, oh yeah, like that's exactly what everyone is saying when they're like, well, I might be a bear, but I want to be a fish, like or which is like not how she writes things, but I don't know. Like
Well, there's definitely threads of it, and we'll get into
there
it.
are
But yeah.
yeah, there are threads of it, but like the thing that like we all have something in common, which is that we want to like critique.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's what the leaf means in like yeah, we'll get into it more, but like I'm kind of obsessed with this like idea of the leaf. Like yes, we critique in different ways, like we critique in the bird way, the fish way, the bear way, but like ultimately like it doesn't
Hmm.
matter.
It's like a form of, it's like the universal that like binds all of us in a way.
Yeah, the leaf.
And it's actually so funny because this is actually like kind of relates to my like, the mutants kind of like intervention in this. There's kind of this like annoying critical theory discussion about like the human as this universal construct. Like, why do we all have to
Yes.
be the human? And Sheila Heti's giving us like 3 different alternatives. You know, well, that's what personality tests do, right? It's like we don't have to be universal. Like you can see people as like multivalent, you know. But then she's also giving us the universal, which is maybe the leaf, you know.
Yes, which is the leaf. Yes. Yeah. And also I do have to say, okay, because I read this, and when I read it, I was like, I know I need to reread this. Like, I just know that, like, this is really great book.
It's so rich. It reads like a religious text sometimes, and sometimes like a story, like a children's story, but it's like so rereadable. Definitely.
Yeah, it reads like a children's book. Like because the first time I read it, I was like in bed. The second time, I'm like at the train tracks reading it out loud to like no one in particular, and it reads a lot different in that manner, but it's also interesting because I'm familiar with the podcast, like, and like the idea of, or like just thinking about like the mutant in like abstract ways, you know. And this book is just really fitting.
Interesting. Yeah.
But like, it's so interesting how like people are very unfamiliar with the idea of mutant and the other, and
everyone wants to be definitely part of like normative like consensus reality is like a stable selfhood that relies on these kind of like categories and understanding of the world as like stable and fixed.
Yeah.
And this novel is, I mean, and like maybe this is a good segue to like actually get into, because I wanted to read some of it, like to get everyone on the same page about like what exactly we're talking about. But it's very agnostic, which I think, you know, in the sense that like it has like part of the DNA of the book is this cosmological, like ontological thing where she's putting out this kind of religious view or this spiritual view of reality. And she says that it's a draft. It's a flawed draft that's so flawed that it means that God has to create a new one. But we live in the flawed draft, and that is very Mutant Manifesto. That's like part of the thesis. But it's like the ontology of being flawed, like that is what we're dealing with. Like everyone, since we are in a flawed universe and flawed world, like we too are flawed, and that actually is the point of this version. If it's not perfect, then we should be figuring out the imperfections and the mutations and the things that we don't expect. So that, you know, because that's the whole point of it.
That's the whole point, yeah. Because if there was nothing flawed, what would there be to work towards? Or like where is the, I don't know.
Yeah, what would be the point of, like, because we know the world isn't perfect because we all suffer, so like,
yeah, we all suffer.
So then like why would that be, why would we be seeking perfection if we know that like the world that we come from is imperfect or whatever?
Yeah.
But okay, I'm gonna just launch into this, okay?
Okay, yeah.
So this is from the beginning of Pure Color. It's page 4. It starts on page 4, right, Abby? I don't have the physical copy. I just have a PDF right now because I lent my copy to somebody who has not given it back to me. So if that's you, give it back to me because I can't remember who it was.
Probably because it's such a great book.
Yeah, they probably gave it to someone else.
Yeah, probably. They were like, take this book. But it is page 4. In the physical paperback copy, it's page 4.
Okay, cool. So I'm just going to read for a long time. Okay, because this introduces like the bird, the bear, the fish, and also... Yeah, okay, I'll just start. So now the earth is heating up in advance of its destruction by God, who has decided that the first draft of existence contained too many flaws. Ready to go at creation a second time, hoping to get it more right this time, God appears, splits, and manifests as three critics in the sky. A large bird who critiques from above, a large fish who critiques from the middle, and a large bear who critiques while cradling creation in its arms.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful. I mean, I guess we can kind of take a moment we can take a moment there and then maybe a moment after the next section. But I mean, yeah. It's just beautiful. You can see the way that she like weaves together like this kind of like childish kind of storytelling language with like kind of biblical like religious text language, and also just like a very frank prose that is like beautiful in its frankness. I don't know.
Yeah. And like even just from that, you're already starting to think like,
yeah, you're following
you're
her.
already starting to think what that means. Like you're starting to think about what like like, am I a bear, a fish, or a bird?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
It's a type of person. It's like splitting not just people but also God is split as three critics in the sky that are trying to figure out what we need to change about this draft of reality. And
and God
splits into three critics.
Into three,
So like, a bird from above, a fish from the middle, and a bear who cradles the creation.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, I'm gonna keep going.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep going. So,
okay.
People born from the bird egg are interested in beauty, order, harmony, and meaning. They look at nature from on high, in an abstracted way, and consider the world as if from a distance. These people are like birds, soaring, flighty, fragile, and strong. I mean, there's just so much. I think I'll run through them and then we can go back and like look at them each.
I think let's take turns reading paragraphs.
Okay, go for it. Love it.
People born from the fish egg appear in a flotation of jelly, and this jelly contains hundreds of thousands of eggs, where the most important thing is not any individual egg, but the condition of many. For the fish is less any one individual egg that concerns them than the eggs are laid in the best conditions. Where the temperature is most right and the current most gentle, so the majority might survive. For fish, it's the collective conditions that count. A person hatched from a fish egg is concerned with fairness and justice here on Earth, on humanity getting the temperature right for the many. 1,000 eggs are the concern of a fish, whereas the person hatched from the egg of a bear clutches one special person close as possibly can be.
Yeah.
They want to clutch.
They want to clutch.
They want to.
They want to hold their creation.
They're concerned with their creation.
Bears do not have a pragmatic way of thinking. In which their favorites can be.
Okay,
wait. You want to pause? Okay, yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I want to pause because I think we should recap.
Okay, so far we have.
She does kind of like breeze past the bird thing and then we get like a good in-depth of like fish. And I want to like recap where we are.
Okay.
Because like let's like give some bullet points.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay.
So, if that's okay.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there was one more little thing about the bear, but we can get back to that. Yeah. So for the bird, what do we have?
The bird abstract. Maybe like a little bit impersonal. Like, are there like words we could attribute to this that are not written in the book?
Well, yeah. So I mean, yeah, like we certainly could, but let's start with what's on the page, I think, and then we can kind of like extrapolate that, you know, to be kind of
so
faithful.
Far, yeah.
But we got
so far bird, abstract.
They're interested in beauty, harmony, and meaning. They look at nature from on high in an abstracted way, and consider the world as if from a distance. So that means, so distant makes a lot of sense as a bullet point. Like, there's definitely a distance there. It's the type of person who, and the type of, God that thinks and critiques about things through symbols and abstractions,
Yeah. And, like, is a little bit removed, maybe.
Yeah, I think they're interested in aesthetics and, like, logical constructions and stuff like that. So it's it's a combination of things. It's like, it's not the same, traditional alchemical, like Western occultism, we have like the 4 elements that you could kind of like think of people as embodying either earth, air, fire, or water energy in different combinations. This is not that, like this is a different system. So like it combines elements of, for example, if we were to apply the like Western occultism frame, the bird would be somebody who is kind of both kind of airy and also who is kind of watery. So this is like expression, emotion, but also, I mean, not really, but like emotion in the aesthetic sense, in the artistic, creative sense, and then air in the intellectual sense.
But also earth because of gathering like earthly materials to make up a like nest.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that kind of, like we're not.
Yeah, maybe they're interested in like artifacts too.
Yeah, I think I'm jumping ahead. Yeah,
like artifacts that outlast somebody.
Yeah.
So, but I would say symbols, artifacts, like artifice to begin with, maybe. But we are kind of jumping ahead. You're right. Okay, let's keep it focused. Let's move to the. We're just trying to do broad strokes right now. So, bird, we have like beauty, order, harmony, meaning. They've got a little bit of distance to them. They're interested in symbols and synthesis and artifice. So like intellect and creativity. But also like art is a big one. So art itself. Art and thought and stuff like that.
Yeah. Which is like a whole other topic to go down. But yes, we'll get there. And then fish. So far, we have...
Fish are like
collective.
Yes. Pragmatists. Realists. Kind of utilitarian.
Yes.
Now, I would be tempted to say like, oh, they're like people who are like leftist organizers, but this actually accommodates.
I was thinking that too.
But technically, you could be like a fascist and be, a fish, because it just means that like you care about the conditions of all your people, or of all like earthly inhabitants, or of whatever in-group is your in-group. So like it could be like a white nationalist if you believe that that's like what your school of fish is like white people, and what matters is white purity or whatever, right? But like I'm tempted, the way that she sets it out, like you think of like, an anarcho-communist or a socialist or something who's like out there pounding the pavement for Mamdani or whoever is being elected next, and whatever socialist candidate.
And that's like the part I'm like really intrigued by how you can be like, okay, in this book there's a framework of like you are this or that, but like that's not really how it is. Like really you can be this and that.
Which almost satirizes the fact that like people get sorted into things like this. But with any sorting system like this, it's going to be nuanced. And it's funny, like we could probably think of a way to think of this in a similar sense of astrology, where you have like a predominant one and then you have like a wing one. or something like that, or like, you know, you've like a rising and like a, you know, like a moon.
Yeah,
And,
you have your you have your sun and your
right.
rising, and you have your like you have your moon,
But for
and
like,
then
but for like enneagrams, you know, like, you know, with like enneagram personality stuff, like for that one, you have like a main number that you are, but then you also have like one or two wings, I think, you know. So like you've got two other like mini ones that also impact who you are. So it would be interesting. We'll have to think about that as we continue. But anyway, I just wanted to jump in and say that.
I just think it's interesting that she spends like quite a bit of time talking about one of these.
The fish?
Yeah. But then we get into the bear. So now we're going to talk. Yeah, let's talk about the bear now.
And I also want to say that this is, I kind of feel like as we come to know this text, we understand that this itself is part of the character who is the protagonist. Like, this whole system is actually somewhat the protagonist's system, but in so being, it is also partially because Sheila Heti is like an auto-fictional book, right? Like, she writes auto-fiction, so the character is based on her in some sense. So therefore, like, the system is somewhat hers and somewhat her character's, but it's also something that the character really believes in, and therefore Sheila Heti probably believes in. But, okay, yeah. So a person born from a bear egg is like a child holding on to their very best doll. Bears do not have a pragmatic way of thinking in which their favorites can be sacrificed for some higher end. They are deeply consumed with their own. Bears claim a few people to love and protect, and feel untroubled by their choice. They are turned towards those they can smell and touch.
Yes. Okay. I don't know if I can say this, but rereading this, I was like, I feel so bad telling my, like, or like being like, yeah, you're a bear to like friends who, because rereading this, the bear is a little bit, like, it's giving nationalist.
Interesting. I don't think so.
Like, I guess I didn't get it.
Not in like inherently.
But like the second time around, like they're consumed with their own. They're consumed with their own.
Well, yeah, but that could be anything.
People, yeah, which could be anything. But I guess like they're turned towards those they can smell and touch. Like, I don't know. And that's like the beauty of the book, is that every time you read it, I guess maybe there's like a different thing you can take from it.
Mm-hmm.
But the second time reading it, I was like, oh no.
Well, I think it's like, I would say like to your like,
that's not how I interpreted it the first time. I didn't interpret it that,
okay, well,
I interpreted it like,
I think it's like, it's a kind of parochialism that the bear represents. Like, because we just said how the fish is kind of represented as kind of a leftist thing, but it's like, no, but this actually works in a fascist worldview too. It just is about like the greater good. But the bear could work in any case. Like, the thing is, like,
as well,
any political ideology. But I think that like the reason why, part of why maybe you're reading it as like a nationalistic thing, is that like, I think honestly a big part of the way that like America manufactures consent for like the horrible things we do abroad is through the engineering of the family unit as the thing that you're supposed to really care about. Because, and this happens for immigrant communities as well. It's not just white people, or not just, you know, whatever, but it's like, you know, and I think there's a lot of different communities that come and really buy into, or really have pre-existing like familial emphasis that works in this way. And that's what the bear does that could be suspicious, is like, it creates this thing where the people you care about, the only people you can actually care about, are the people that you can literally smell and touch. Which, if they're Americans, if they're fellow Americans, that means that you're, at the end of the day, prioritizing your own family over the people that we are, you know, funding to be executed and, you know, demolished abroad or whatever else, right? or like, you know, or it makes, or it also reinforces this kind of like neoliberal, you know, just make sure that you and yours are taken care of, and like turn a blind eye to any kind of systemic thing, because, you know, that's outside of your control. Yeah, like I feel like the technology, like the bears are taken advantage of in the system that we live in. I feel like, because it's like easy to atomize care like that.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's like you meet plenty of people who are like leftists and stuff who are unable to implicate themselves with the bear like care, and that means that they, you know, fail their personal relationships, and that's not necessarily a better thing, you know, like,
yes, exactly.
So
they need more bear like care. Like that's ideal, is to have like bird, bear, and fish within you, right?
Yeah, I wonder if, like, I guess so, maybe, or is it better to specialize? But anyway, I think we could probably keep moving. So like a bear is just someone who cares about people. I mean, I think you get the sense. It's like the type of person that cares about like love at the end of the day. Like that's the thing that matters more, even more than like, and you can say intellectually, oh, well, this thing matters more to me, but like which one really matters more to you, right?
But I don't think that they care more about love than the bird or the fish. I think that they just
a way of experiencing,
care about focusing their love. Like they like to focus their love. Yeah, they like to narrow down, like they like to focus their love. And whereas the fish has like loves, but
right.
It's like quite broad.
It's kind of this like the love of the common man kind of thing.
Yeah, like they have a love for all people, or like not all people, but like, you know, they have a love like more broadly towards people, and then the bird has like also loves, but like maybe not so directed towards humanity, but like in a different, like directed towards like what allows us to be human. People born from these 3 different eggs will never completely understand each other. They will always think that these born from a different egg have their priorities all wrong. But fish, birds, and bears are all equally important in the eye of God. And it wouldn't be a better world if there were only fish. And it wouldn't be a better world if there were only bears. God needs creation critiqued by all 3. But here on earth, it is hard to believe it. Fish find the concerns of the birds superficial, while birds are made impatient by the critiques of fish. Nothing makes a person feel like their life's work or their self is less seen than when it's being judged by someone from a different egg.
Yeah.
Sorry, was that like really fucked because of the train?
Oh, was there? Okay, the audio was weird, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah,
wait, so are you like outside?
Sorry, I don't like totally. Yeah, I am outside. I
by
didn't
the train
like
tracks?
totally know how this works. Yes.
I mean, I think it sounds.
I didn't. So I came here because it's like quiet and I can like just speak freely.
But I was like,
then,
we were by a train track.
And then I also like, I think I've been under. Can I just like talk first? Like, am I allowed to say things?
I think I would like this to be part of the episode if you want. I kind of like it.
Okay, so I like came here, like I wasn't sure if like you were going to edit this or
I
not.
definitely can edit.
And so I was like,
and I do edit everything, but yeah.
I think I was like under the impression that you would. So I was like, oh yeah, like let me go to the train tracks because that's like my quiet place.
Well, I definitely can
Unless
edit, but I like that it's there.
unless there's a train coming, unless there's a train going by. And of course a train just went by, which is not common.
I think it's
Yeah.
great, and I want to keep this part in. But yeah,
Okay, yeah, you can do anything,
just
but
because of random. It's nice to have like random like parts of your life. I like that you're like out in the world. Like,
oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm at the train tracks, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to be where I am, but I have found that it's a quiet place outside of when a train's going by.
but I think we got that. So people from the different eggs will never completely understand each other. They think that the other eggs have their priorities wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're all equally important in the eyes of God.
Yes. Like, yeah, they never feel seen by the other egg. A fish never feels seen by a bird. A bear never feels seen by a fish. Or like it's not easy, to feel that way.
Yeah. So I'm just going to keep pushing. Yet, birds should be grateful that someone is making the structural critique so they don't have to. And fish should be grateful that someone is making the aesthetic critique so they can focus on the structural one. It is interesting
which
that
tells us about each.
And it's telling us also, so it's telling us that birds like to do aesthetics.
Yes, but they feel that structural is like a comes before.
Yeah, like structure is required for the aesthetics to be built on top of them. And
whereas fish want to make the structural critiques, but they feel that aesthetics have to come first.
Well, I think that
they
think
that
don't
care.
I don't know about coming first, aesthetics. But it's like like if you think about like someone who's like really cares about like mobilizing the working class or whatever, like you do need to have the aesthetic in order to reach the working class. Like you need to be able to actually communicate with people, right? Yeah. Which is where like aesthetics might come in. So it's like both of them are bound to each other, even though they have different things that they like focus on and care about and actually think are more important.
Yes. Well, they also, remember we were talking about permutations? They have different permutation. Is what I was thinking in this context. Like the fish's idea of permutation is different than the birds. Like one thing comes before the other. Like this comes before the other, but then they're like relieved to, in a sense, to have the bird take it away, like.
And do you say the bird is having a different sense
But then they're also not relieved because they're like, whoa, the bird has like an opposite idea of permutation. Like, they think that this should come before the other, but they're not so concerned with that thing. Like, essentially, I'm already getting to the point of like, there is harmony between the two that is not recognized.
Yeah. And I think that it's like part of like Sheila Heti's like, this came out in what, 2021 or something? I don't know, sometime like that. But I think part of it is like her intervention in, this kind of this sense that we're not communicating with each other, fully, like being part of the contemporary existence is a kind of it's kind of as an eschatological fucking hell. It's so hard to say eschatological. But like it's this time where we feel like we're like in an apocalypse. The world's heating up because God's going to destroy it. which itself, this whole thing could be read as tongue-in-cheek, basically, but it also really fits with like the moment we live in. Like, it feels like things are ending. It feels like we can't talk to each other.
It feels really hard to connect.
People are being bifurcated into different species.
Yes.
Yeah, but like
our differences are like feel so much more apparent. They're highlighted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like, how could a bear ever understand me? Like, yeah.
Right. And it's like everyone, and she's also almost satirizing the idea that like everyone has the, seems to have the right idea about everything. Like, or she's kind of taking that apart. Like, everyone feels so self-justified. They feel like we're all critics, and we all feel so vindicated by our worldview and alienated from anyone else who doesn't share it,
Yeah.
But she's kind of bringing it beyond worldview to like style of making worldviews, like style of worldview, like what elements of the worldview. Because it's not like an explicitly like political in the situated sense kind of framing that she builds. But of course, her characters are in political contexts, but these things are like universal structures.
Yes, and just like the way in which people experience the world, which yes, like I would argue is politics, but like
right, everything's political,
the bear might not see that.
The bear might not see it,
or I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically, so like there is harmony that's there, even if both want to deny it. But I want to go on to the next part.
Agree.
And it's funny that she leaves the bear out of those. It seems like the bird and the fish are really at each other's throats, and the bear is kind of in its own corner. Because I think which kind of I think makes a little bit of sense, because it's like, it's hard to hate the bear. Like, it's really, I mean, actually, it's not that hard.
Because
it's easy to resent it or to like dismiss it, but it's hard to hate the bear.
Yes, if you're not the bear, it feels like the bear is this like space where you can kind of like step aside from critique.
Well,
even though the bear is framed like the bear is still someone who like participates in critique. When you are not the bear, there's something intriguing about like narrowing down your
like what do you have to worry about?
But
at the same time, it's like, what's crazy about that is that through caring, say that I choose two people to care about, right? Like my mom and my like lover or whatever. Then like that, it kind of creates a whole two whole universes of things to care about, though,
Yes.
And I feel like that's why like all these things can be toxic, like obviously, but like on a personal level too, like there is such thing as like definitely such thing as, I mean, speaking of my mom, I feel like there would be, I can think of lots of examples of how she might be kind of bear, like in her what she, I think she might be a bear in this sense, but like the criticism element is like super intense, and throughout childhood and into adulthood if you let it be with her. So
yes.
It's like, and like, so like obviously there's a lot of like, this is a style of how you critique the world, right? And so like critiquing the world through the people that you care about, that you grab onto, that you can smell and feel, like it actually can be very terrifying for the object of that, like, because then you are God critiquing your child, like through the relationship that you have with them, like, which is pretty intense.
Yes.
But is also kind of, I mean, which is what is also like the ontological it is also very real. It is what's real. Is that like,
and that's what
God
she's talking about.
Yes, God is looking at the world, its creation, its child, and saying, this is imperfect, and here's exactly why it's imperfect. Or
Yes.
like, I'm trying to figure out why it's imperfect so I can make a new one. Or so that, you know, just figure out why it's imperfect. And so, like, that is the parental relationship of, like, looking at your child and seeing yourself reflected back in it and, like, loving it and also feeling like this isn't perfect, like, this isn't right.
Yeah, this isn't right. And how that is it's so difficult.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about when I asked my mom if she was a bird, a bear, or a fish? She was like, well, I think, she was like, well, I guess I'm a bear.
Okay.
But if I could go back in time, like, I think I wanted to be a bear, but now I don't think I want to be a bear. Like,
She
I
used
just
to
thought
want
it
to
was
be one, and then she
interesting.
became one, and now she doesn't want to be one.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't think that this is authentic. Like, I think I have, like, yeah.
Oh,
like,
she made herself into one, even though she was maybe something else.
she made, like, she just thought that was, like, that was, like, the path
Right.
she should follow, but she's like, well, but I often wonder, like, what my life would, which this is, like, kind of extreme because obviously I exist because of because of the bear. And same with
Well,
my siblings.
I don't think
But
that's
she
the
was
case.
like,
I don't think that's how that
oh
works.
no, no, like, I think that is, like, what, I think that's how she was interpreting it. Like, she
Oh,
was
you
like,
mean like the care that she put into your upbringing was her embodying the bear?
yeah, and she was like, but I often wonder, like, what my life would look like if I didn't, like, choose to be like the bear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like it's in another interesting little segue we can go down
Yeah.
later of,
Well,
like,
that.
what it means to have inherent qualities versus, like, the qualities that you would like to, when you're pursuing other qualities. Like, there's a difference in, like, are those ever going to be better than, which is what she's saying. Like, no, nothing is, like, the fish is not seen as better. The bird is not seen as better.
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean that kind of brings up like how, but they're not inherently better or worse, but it is like your conditions in life and your positionality, your gender, your age, they push you towards different modes. So
Yeah.
but like this pure color, Sheila Heti is claiming that is more of
It's
a
one,
facade and a role. But the
yeah.
reality is that you have one of these things that is like your soul blueprint. And like, yes, you can
Yes.
perform and work within, like, you can be a parent with any of these, like as any of these. And you can have a monogamous relationship that's caring with any of these. But like what matters to your soul is something that is one of these three things, more or less.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
more or less I think is important. But I think that is kind of real though. I mean, some people, again, more or less, like some people might have a combination, or like there's probably intensity levels to these things too. Like, in the
I think
Myers-Briggs
it's,
system, you can actually be highly introverted and highly extroverted at the same time, or you can be low on both accounts. You can either have high needs for alone time and high needs for socialization, or you can have low needs for both of those things. I think in a similar sense, you can be high bear and you can be high on all three, or you can kind of be low on all three. But
yeah.
but maybe it is true that everyone's true. Maybe everyone does have like an essential blueprint that is also their most aligned version, which is kind of one of these things, or like emphasizes one of these things.
Yes, there's like an aligned version, but now I'm going on to a different tangent because I think it's interesting that like the book is called Pure Color, but she really paints it black and white. Like this is what you are. Like you are this, this or that. And I think that's where the title comes in because when you're reading it, you're like, I am this. I am this thing. But like really the point is like, no, you are all of these things. And we all are. Like that's where the pure color comes in. Like you are bird, bear, and fish. Cause like if you like have and like yes, you lean one way or the other. But even then, like if you lean one way, you have the desire to be more of like the other thing. And like I think like we were talking recently about like you were like there's like a saying of like what you want to be, you already are.
Yeah.
Do you remember
Well, we were
this?
talking about I mean, okay, this is a tangent, and I think it's one worth going down.
Yeah, I know. Sorry,
I think it's one worth going down. I mean, because and so we were talking about ascension, and I was using ascension as like this kind of like ironic, but you know, on the layer of irony where it's also sincere kind of construction of what it means. I was like, me and Abby were talking about like what would it mean to like be like I was like, one of these days, this is the thing I've been telling myself, right, for years and years. It's like one of these days I'm going to have enough resources, enough like neural space, enough like you know, time to be able to really, you know, figure out my shit and like get myself to the point where I am doing everything exactly the way I want to do it. And so we were talking about what it means to like be in that state of, you know, what we coined as ascension, you know, and and yeah, like, but basically there's this esoteric idea that like whatever state you're trying to get to, if you're trying to get there, then that means you're going to continually try to get there, meaning you won't be there. But so you have to find ways to actually already be there.
Okay, I interpreted that differently.
Okay.
I interpreted like what you were saying as wherever you want to be, like you are already there because like you already have that seed planted.
Well, that's kind of probably a more attuned way to look at what I was saying. Yeah, what I'm saying, which is that like this experience is the experience that is your ascended experience.
Yeah,
but like, it's like just being aware of that is the thing that's like difficult for people. But okay, sorry, continue. Go off. go off.
Yeah, I kept coming back to this idea like while rereading the book because she kept talking about, you know, like everyone wants like everyone's kind of competing with like who's most important. And if you're competing with like what's most important, that kind of says that like, you know, you feel like the other, like the bird might be important than you, who is a fish.
Right, exactly.
And that kind of lends into the idea of like you kind of like envy the thing that you are not, which means that you already are that, like you're not a fish or a bird or a bear, we're kind of all like we are all bird, bear, and fish because we all kind of want we all want to be each other, and like whatever you want to be, like you already are. Like if you have that seed in your mind, like you already.
I don't know if I completely. I think that's an idealistic way to see it. I think that like that's what I would like to believe. But and I think there definitely is truth to that. There's definitely truth to that in like the sense, in a certain sense, and maybe we can talk about leaves. But like,
yeah, the leaf.
I want to say that like I super feel this week I've been really like thinking about envy and like what this is for me. Like I envy so many people that I really love and respect about crazy shit. Like actually what's crazy too is that like this week I'm taking care of my sister's dog. And I literally at one point was like this intrusive thought came to me where I was like, I am jealous that this dog gets to eat dog food because it's just you can eat the same thing every day and that's like all your nutrition, everything you need is right there. Like all you need is to like you don't have to think about what you're going to eat or how you're going to cook it and stuff like that. But
you're just taken care of. I think about that all the time with my dog.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, you lucky girl. But then also
but like it's dog food.
But also you are not lucky. Like at the same
right.
You're also like like you don't get to just go wander around
and you don't get to make yourself a meal.
Yeah.
So but like, and that's what, so that kind of pointed out to me the absurdity of this like envy, because I was like I was like legitimately for a minute there I was like, oh, I'm jealous of this dog, like it was just so crazy, like and like yes, there is something enviable, it is true, right, in a certain way, like there's something enviable about that existence, but there is also something enviable about every existence, and I feel like the experience of envy is, to your point, like reminding you of some sort of glimmer of like memory through timelines and through lives potentially of what that other experience is like. But like the God that we are critiquing the world through, I think wants to live in our specific context. That is like, and I think that being both self-critical and self-assured in that context is like the mutant way, is like the way to experience the novel articulation of reality that only we can see, you know?
It's maybe,
and that relates to this ascension thing.
In terms of the book, like it's like maybe uncomfortable because this God that is spoken of in the book, like that's like not what that's not what this God is like wanting to use you for. Like they're not wanting to use you for like they have like an idea, they have a plan, or like, okay, the book is like, you know, like you are a leaf, like they want to, or not a leaf, they want to, like you are a bear, that's your path, but when you steer off from that path, it's uncomfortable.
And so like you're saying that the God is trying to make you go back to being a bear, and so like when you try to avoid that, then you'll face friction because you're out of alignment with what sensing organ the God is using with you.
Yes, like, and I'm like, okay, and also I have to say, I could read this book over and over again and I will see it differently every time.
Totally.
But currently, that is how I'm feeling about it, which is like, and I feel like that plays into the idea of the mutant, like you're steering from the path and you don't fit into this like this world of, you know, in this world this God wants you to be like, has made you into a bear, and you realize like that's not what you really want, like you want to be more fish, but it's uncomfortable.
That's fascinating. So like, can you expand on that? Like, so you're saying to like, let's apply the mutant lens to someone who's a bear. Like, what do you mean by like, in your mind, is the mutant someone who is skirting the will of God by saying, okay, I want to like evolve, I want to like change myself beyond this construct that
Yes,
I'm given.
yes, I think the mutant is like like free will. Like I tend towards this, like, but I want to challenge myself of like, I tend towards wanting to cradle one person, but like I
But you can
but like
deconstruct that.
that's what I'm so used to, and I'm so used to this, and I'm getting like it's been many years of me like cradling,
Hmm.
and maybe I want to like go outside of my comfort zone. Like maybe I want to like do something new, but that's like not what this God in the book intended. And so
That's really interesting. I mean, I think there's like a lot there, and I will say, like, from my perspective, I think that the mutant is yeah, like, it is something that challenges the idea of any kind of intrinsic quality. It's saying, like, like categories are not intrinsic. If you say that you're a human, if you say that you're a bear, if you say that you are a woman, those things are creations of the situated experience that you're in, more so than reflections of your soul or your essence.
yeah,
But like there is an element of deity, of like teleology, of this idea of like things going a certain way, that challenges that perspective and that experience very directly, and kind of ostracizes it as well, puts pressure on it to conform. The experience
yeah,
of being like, I have this definition of human, of man, of citizen, but like but like those can be deconstructed. So there's like a
yeah,
normativizing
and
force that comes from like
and
sometimes
I
this guise of like this deity, this like especially like a mono deity, like a monotheistic deity. Have we just disconnected? Maybe her phone died. I would not be surprised if her phone died. Okay, we're back. Abby's phone died on the train tracks. Now she's back home. Okay, we're going to talk
in
about the
typical
leaf.
fashion.
We're going to talk about the leaf, and we're going to talk about these last two paragraphs about God itself being imperfect. But before that, you wanted to, something else you want to talk about.
Well, before talking about the leaf, I felt like there was a really good excerpt that like kind of leads into it and like puts into perspective um like the various like like how the bear embodies earth, the bird embodies air, the fish embodies water. Like, yeah, we were talking about elements earlier,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like there's like this one part that is thought it was a nice little entry point into becoming a leaf.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, how Mira would have loved to have been born of the bear egg. How she would love to be an ambassador of a simple and enduring love down here on this earth. That's it. You see
Can
what
you
I'm
read it
saying?
again?
Okay.
Can you read it again?
How Mira would have loved to been born of the bear egg. How she would have loved to be an ambassador of a simple and enduring love down here on this earth. Like, that's how she sees the bear egg. Is like she sees the bear egg as being simple, enduring love on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yet whenever she sets her heart on such actions, I'm going to keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
They are wished for, strived for, and barely achieved. To properly love another one, this is the stumblingest part of her, the most nonsensical part, the part of her that is most scattered and always to blame. The part of her that properly loves someone.
Yeah. I mean, I think that what this points to is like an alienation from oneself.
Yeah.
And I think that is a condition that we live under, and potentially like a condition, and as she says, like a condition under which God itself is operating from, is like almost like a willful self-alienation. But the way that we experience it as fragments of God is a not just willful self-alienation. It's an alienation from oneself that is like what you want, what you want to care about is not necessarily what you really care about. And that is an irony, a deep irony. Like, you care about something, and you want to care about it more, but you are somewhat unable to. And that's the part where you mess up and you stumble. The stumblingest part of you is the part that wants to care about something else. And tries to care about it.
Back to what, yeah, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying about like how the book is called Pure Color, but the ways in which like Mira exists are quite black and white. It's like you are this or you are that. And I feel like in that passage specifically, she is like, I want to be this other thing.
Right. You see that it's almost revealed
but God has put me into this, but I was born to be like a bird.
Right.
That observes rather than is down here on earth.
Right. And it reveals how like her whole framing of all these categories is shaped by being bird-like.
Yeah. Like it's limiting to have everything is shaped by that, and it ends up being limiting and not pure color. Like it's not colorful.
Yeah.
Like
there is one passage, where the text talks about pure color. I'm gonna just read that really quickly, and then we can talk about the leaf.
Is.
She says, one sunny afternoon when Mira and her father were standing in the garden, he promised that one day he would buy her all sorts of mysterious, rare, and marvelous things, including pure color. Not something that was colored, but the color itself. Color itself came in hard little circular discs and was shiny like a polished stone or a polished jewel, but with all its color deep inside it. Its color sat there, turned inwards.
Yes.
Pure color was introverted, like a shy little animal. Mira had never seen pure color before, but she guessed there was probably lots that her father knew about and could show her and give her besides these discs. Pure color being this impossible abstract thing.
Which later comes up, but not in terms of, like, it's not given the term pure color, but it does come up in the leaf section.
Okay, go off about leaves, because I don't remember this as much.
Like, when she becomes a leaf, like, she realizes that it doesn't matter if you are a bird, a bear, or a fish. Like, because essentially she's like about to die, right? Like, that's my interpretation, which is not correct. Like, I don't think there's necessarily a correct answer, but similar to like, you see the light.
Mm-hmm.
She's a leaf. Her dad is already dead, and she's like realizing that like all of the things that are important to fish and birds and bears are important like for a leaf being grown from this like tree trunk. And her dad, there's like a part about like her dad is like the pure color thing comes back again because he's experiencing pure color, which in my head is like just nuance and like
a kind of a presence,
she's
like a
confused
presence within like the pure moment, kind of almost.
Yeah, like a peaceful, yeah, like just feeling peace with the fact that like, yeah, just feeling peaceful in like how things are. And like in his pure color, in his peacefulness, like there is no bird, bear, fish. And she's confused by that at some point. She's like, he wasn't like he didn't have words.
So what is so significant about the leaf for you in this context? Like, this is the stepping into kind of a more centered like existence that doesn't have archetypes that it can reach for because it just is the leaf.
The leaf is peace with like we are all leaves. We're all leaves, although we come from like a different, like we have different inclinations. But like the leaf is a point where you are seeing things as similarity rather than difference. Because like I guess the book really has a lot to do with death. So
I mean, her father's
kind of
death is like a big, profound like component of it.
So it's kind of just like a piece with like, I don't need to prove myself as a bird or strive to be a fish or bear because it's kind of like trivial, and really we are all grown from the same trunk. Mm-hmm. Like I was seeing like a parallel between like the trunk of the tree and like the god that was spoken of at the beginning of the book.
Mm-hmm. It's like the undivided form of the god.
I think it was like, yeah, something like that. Like, and I guess I just was seeing it as a, like, there's no need to be critical of the fish or the bear, like if you're a bird, in Mira's instance. Because you're all, like, there's some, like it's kind of just time wasted.
Mm-hmm.
When I reread it, I was like thinking of it in terms of like, yeah, you instead could be thinking about similarities because you are all leaves from the same tree.
Right.
How many more leaves could be born if you are doing that? Like, I don't know.
And I mean, that's kind of like what, like my thing with a mutant, once to bring it back to that, is that like, that is it's like does a better job of what the human is trying to do for like liberal, humanity, which is like create this universal subject. Yeah. But I'm like, well, that actually doesn't quite work because it does have connotations that it carries with it, right? It's like trying to say that like to be part of the universal thing, you have to be a specific thing. But the mutant is a way to say that, like, yes, we are all meaningful and we all have experience that is common, but that shouldn't be limited to humanity as defined by a specific hegemonic perspective and a specific way of being, or even a specific species. And it seems like the leaf is doing a similar thing.
Yeah.
It's saying, like, we can make this all into something where, like, we are all leaves, like, literally we are all leaves, like. But, like, the problem
which
the
is
we
why
being very expansive.
Yes. Which is why I hyperfixated on the leaf before this podcast, because I saw the leaf as being, like, quite fitting to the idea of a mutant, or, like, the mutant, the other, like, I guess not so much the other, though. Yeah, like, I felt like it related to the mutant, but in a way, actually quite the opposite, in a way that was not the other.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess I tend to think of, the mutant
As the other?
As the other, yeah.
Well, that makes sense, but that's, like, exactly what intervention I'm trying to place. Is saying that, like, we are the other, in that we are also, like, the one. If we are saying that there is a universal, then that includes the other. Therefore, we would also be the other, and we would be the universal.
Yes. And that's why I keep hyperfixating on the leaf, because I think that's, like, kind of like the whole, like, I kind of see that as the moral of this story of Pure Color.
Okay.
It's like the color, the pure color is, like, you don't until you become a leaf and you realize that, like, we are not this or that. Like, we are leaves that change color, like earth, air, water, all
and sunlight.
Like, that is important to all of our existence, and like our existence is so much more colorful than bird, bear, or fish. Like,
and it's, like, through the kind of process of death that she becomes a leaf, and, so, like, that makes sense that, like, this is a fallen, constricted world where we feel sorted, but, like, beyond that, there is a world where we are leaves on a tree that is the universe, that is everything.
Yeah.
Well, I want to also say that, like, what's crazy about this stuff, if you think about, like, the mutant or the leaf as this universal subject, and you see all those things as changing, imperfect, like, liminal subjectivities, then that actually extends all the way to God itself. And I wanted to share a couple last paragraphs from this opening prose here. And I think I wanted to, like, take apart it. Okay? So, it goes like, quote, God is most proud of creation as an aesthetic thing. You have only to look at the exquisite harmony of sky and trees and moon and stars to see what a good job God did aesthetically. So those born from the bird egg are the most grateful of all. Those born from the fish egg are the most upset. And those born from the bear egg aren't too happy either. Perhaps God shouldn't conceive of creation as an artwork the next time around. Then he will do a better job with the qualities of fairness and intimacy in our living. But is that even possible? For an artist to shape their impulse into a form which is not, in the end, an art form? Unquote. Okay, this is such a crazy couple of paragraphs because it's like...
It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
Because first of all, it's saying that God is essentially more bird. Like, even though there's other things are like things, like God at the end of the day is more bird. And that makes sense because who is creating this cosmology? It's Mira, aka Sheila, aka the writer.
Exactly.
And who is most likely to read Sheila Heti and listen to this podcast?
She sees.
And also, who is most likely to read Sheila Heti and listen to this podcast? Birds. Or maybe some fish, maybe some bears. But like, birds are the people who are like thinking about critical theory and culture and stuff. So it's like revealing the biased nature of the whole cosmology. But it's also saying, what if that's actually the case? Like, and it's also self-flagellating and saying like, next time God shouldn't think of creation as an artwork, so that he can do better with fairness and intimacy. So like she's saying like maybe art, it's like maybe we shouldn't be so focused on art.
Mira, because Mira,
which reveals her own character flaw and potentially ours.
But it also reveals, okay, because if Mira is the narrator, which she is, like obviously Sheila Heti is the one writing it, but you know, Mira's
technically the narrator.
Yeah. And if she has these critiques though, and she's like, maybe God should have done this, doesn't that mean that she, like, if we're going back to this idea of like what you want to be, you already are. Doesn't like it kind of isn't Mira already
this cordoning it off into this other, like, this is the eschatological worldview comes into play. Eschatology is the thing where people say that the world is going to end. And that's what Mira's doing. That's what Mira's doing with this whole project. And yes, I think you're right. I think this points out that like that is a way to put this off onto God and onto the next life, as opposed to saying, in this life, I need to de-emphasize art and accomplishment and outlasting my corporeal body. I need to balance that with intimacy and with fairness.
And she's already doing that by acknowledging.
Right, which is what's so alchemical about the fact that she's like bringing this stuff to a head and like kind of riding the bird-like quality to its end.
She's like, God should have done this. And it's like, well, but God, like this God already did that because you're already, that seed is already planted in your head. Like,
and the work of art of pure color is also an intimate act, and is also an act of recognizing this equanimous fairness question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like but there's something about like art where like it has to have this tension, but it's like the awakened way through is to like acknowledge with compassion the fact that we like have these things. We are engaging in these different things already, and the more that we engage and allow that to be recognized, the more that we can actually feel their import in our lives, I think, and like feel their taking part, the course of them actually happening. That's so cool, because like I think that you and me, like in talking about this, we were like, yeah, we're probably more like birds, but we wish we were this, we wish we were that. But this is also, that conversation has come in tandem with this question of like, what would it mean to actually be quote unquote ascended? And it's like, yeah, well, it means like accepting that is actually already a part of your life. And I don't know, like maybe we kind of have been doing that too, like, but it's like a trippy and impossible thing to fully accept, but like these structures of the bird, bear, and fish almost allow you to like see different parts of yourself, maybe, and kind of like accept different parts of yourself.
Yes, especially, okay, like I said, rereading the book, which I always said, like, I've set this book aside because I know I could read it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, this is the first time I reread sections, and I was like, I had a totally different perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think lends to the idea of bird, bear, and fish and leaf, because, like, these things are not black and white. Like, you are not this or that. Like, you are pure color. Like it's not that simple. Like, I swear every time I read this book, I will be a different thing.
Yeah.
Or I will find more of like one thing. Like, I will find more of a combination. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's interesting the desire
Like,
to locate yourself in one of them, though. Like, you want to be limited, almost. You know?
yes.
You don't want to be the leaf. You don't want to be the leaf. You want to be like, I'm a bird.
No, but you do. No, but you do want to be the leaf.
Well, I know you actually do, but there's a desire not to be.
I've thought of the leaf as a sun. I was thinking of the leaf as a sun.
I agree, but I'm just saying that, like, I think that that's something that, like, why do I resist ascension if I know that you can just accept it into your life right now? Like, this is it. But, like, you don't want to do that. Like, there's part of me that doesn't want to. You know?
Because it feels so far removed. Well, because, yes, okay, that goes back to the mutant. Like, I am seeing the leaf kind of as, I see the leaf as the mutant.
I agree. It's like the thing that you are. It is like, reality. It is like anything.
It's like reality. Like, you are seeing the pure color of sorry to like keep referencing the title, but like, I do think it's a lovely it's a lovely title and really great metaphor. But like, yeah, like, you can find yourself kind of being the leaf, but that feels so like, where you are seeing things from all angles, or like at least trying to, or like, but that is it. Like, I guess, yeah, like I said, I associate like mutant with other, like the other, and the leaf to me is like the other. And
interesting. So it's like stepping into other.
So by being the leaf, you don't fit into any of these categories necessarily. Like, you can be like, I'm a bird, or like, I'm a bear, but like, you don't. But really, you just are seeing things as a leaf. And you want, and which is also like, it's such an outsider. Yeah, it's like kind of an outsider perspective, or
right, because it's the beyond the death kind of thing too. It's like beyond this like veil of mortality. You can look back and be like, okay, like, wait, no, like, this whole time I'm a leaf, like, beyond all this other stuff.
Yeah. And you want everyone to see all of the perspectives of leaf, fish, bear, or not leaf. Sorry, I keep saying leaf. Bird, fish, bear. Like, you want them to see the and here I go again. You want everyone to see the pure
color.
The pure
color.
like
with a
in
U
like yes,
and British, yeah.
English, like yes, with a U British terms, like you want them to see yes, not color, just
Not just
LOR.
color,
It
no.
has to be.
But
Like
she's
you
fucking
want people to
Canadian.
see.
Oh, it's
She's not
so
even.
Canada has the U.
She's not. Oh, they probably do. Yeah,
Yeah,
they probably do.
yeah.
That would make a lot of sense to
Okay. Now, all this aside,
like
though,
seeing
let's do it. Okay, we're
the
gonna do a
pure
rapid fire
color.
round. We're gonna do a rapid fire round.
Oh God. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
all this stuff that we just said, we're gonna throw it out the window.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Madonna.
Okay. Like, is she a bird, fish, or bear?
Yeah. Bird, right?
Okay, Madonna. Hmm. Ooh. Okay, bird.
Because
Well,
she's a
okay,
creator.
but that's hard because, oh God, because we could get really in depth with Madonna. Because I think Madonna, actually, I want to say a fish, but
Ooh.
like, but again,
Uses bird
she's
technology.
quite, she's quite like black and white in her thinking,
Mm.
and so her fish tendencies. No, because she like definitely surrounds herself with like that's why she's adopted so many. Like her yeah, her whole thing. No, I think she's a fish. I think she's a fish.
Interesting. Okay, what
Cause
about
yeah,
like
cause she is not.
this is a lightning round,
She
Abby.
has
You
never
can't.
been. Okay,
No,
yeah.
you just
Sorry,
gotta
I keep
choose
going.
one.
Okay, who
A
is the
fish.
next? Okay,
Give quick
she's a fish.
explanation. Why?
She's a
Why we?
fish.
Why
She's a
fish?
fish. She's a fish.
Quick. Why?
Because okay, she cradles, but not in terms of bear. Like maybe
Mm-hmm.
she is a bear. Okay. No.
Okay.
See, that's
Yeah.
the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Okay.
Right.
No. She she likes to be surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Like she finds value in
What about Addison
many
Ray?
eggs.
Addison Ray.
Addison Ray? Hmm.
You got like 5 seconds.
Okay, I'm gonna say Addison Ray. Actually, okay. No, without any explanation, I'm giving bear.
Whoa.
I don't know why. I just see her as like she is a. I see her as like yeah. I see her as a bear.
Like her persona, at least.
Okay, her
Dude, no,
persona.
I mean, to me, like the whole
Her
person is
persona.
definitely
I
a
would say
bird.
bird. Yes,
I would
her
say her
persona
herself too.
bird.
I mean, if you're striving for that much like fame, are you not? What are you other than a bird?
Her persona bird, but I see her personally as she might be a bear.
I feel like
Like
Charlie
I don't
XCX, I
see
could be convinced is a bear.
like I could see Addison as like I don't know, I see her as someone who like wants to have that person.
Okay, where are you getting that from? I have to ask. That she's like looking for her person.
Well, because I swear she is always in a relationship.
Hmm. I didn't really know that actually.
I guess yeah, I should not know that because it doesn't really matter.
Oh,
But
it's
like
you can know that.
but she does yeah, she is always in a relationship.
Sure. Okay. What
So
about?
that just like gives me bear, which is not a bad thing. Like being always in a relationship is not a bad thing. It's just
Of course not. Well, bear isn't a bad
but
thing.
her public persona, yeah, of course. Bear is like what we both kind of, we kind of envy. But
Bear?
yeah,
Yeah.
her public persona I think is very bird.
Well, I think
So
your public
bird.
persona is kind of bear too. I mean,
So
like,
bird.
I think any pop artist who's like singing songs as like a woman, like, and honestly, probably most men too, like who are doing like classic pop stuff, like it's all about love. It's all about trying to find like the person or like
Yeah.
navigating that. So I feel like most pop is oriented towards bear stuff. Like the persona is projecting bear.
Yes. Although in Addison's case, like I don't think that that's like her intent.
With
I
her
don't think
music.
her intent is to like
Yeah, you're right because it's kind of
give
it has this aloofness to
I
it.
think her intent is just like pop girly, like which gives bird. Like it's so
Yeah,
bird.
yeah, and
Like because
that's
it's like
also Charlie
it's
XCX too.
aesthetic. What?
That's also Charlie XCX and stuff. Like it's definitely like the
Yes.
lane that she's picking up on is like, yeah, no, I'm like a pop like god. So like I'm like
Yes.
Charlie XCX is like 360.
Which is quite aesthetic based because
And it's
like you're
also
fitting into
yes,
the aesthetic
360 is all
of
about being
pop.
everywhere, being able to be like a mastermind of the like art itself and like being a curator of your own thing, which is very bird. Even though I think Charlie is
Yes.
also someone who like, she's just got married and stuff, like she's like, talking about like, trying to figure out what that's all about. Okay, but anyway, we don't have time for this. We're doing lightning round. Okay,
Yeah,
now
like
Hassan Piker.
okay, Hassan, I've actually been thinking about this a lot because we kind of talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Or like we brought up his name. Um and he
I don't
is
think bear.
someone
I don't think bear
I
for him.
find no, I definitely okay. I think fish, but I
Yeah,
don't
it's either
think
fish or bird.
he yeah, I don't think he necessarily I don't know if he likes being a fish.
He wants to be a bird.
Straightforwardly, I think he wants to be a fish, is a fish, but he has a desire to be bear
I could see that.
or bird, but he is afraid because now he has put himself so far into fish.
Well, I kind of feel like he has done that through the means of a bird. But like this is kind of raising this question of like I feel like there should be another whole category for like what category is the person who's famous who wants to be famous or acclaimed? Like is that, it's not quite bear, it's not quite bird, it's not quite fish, but it's a
Well,
little bit of all of them.
that's kind of I think that that's what I was getting to like with rereading the book and like the idea of pure color. Like pure color means that you are not like constricted. Okay, so like if we had to categorize people, we could, but
It's like I think this. If anything, the book is revealing that these categorizations that we put on ourselves are ultimately arbitrary, and there's always something that
yeah,
leaks out from them. Like no matter what you do, whatever kind of system you
no,
have,
everyone
it's
leaks
not
out from
perfect,
them.
and it tries to fix something that is fluid.
Yes,
So
like it's just like so not that
that
simple. Like
doesn't mean
it's
that it's not
not,
meaningful, but it also
yeah.
means that it's going to be imperfect at all times. Um, okay, I feel like that's a good place to leave it because like we've been going for quite a while. Yeah, does that sound good with you?
Yeah.
I'm going to be sending you the manifesto, which is swollen quite a bit, but it's like 3 pages long now. But you can choose any part of it to mutate in any way that you'd like, and I would love to have you
Oh,
like record that and send it to me, whatever part
okay.
or excerpt of it that you want. But
Okay.
what is there anything else you want to say or listeners to do or engage with or anything or any calls to action or anything?
I don't know. I guess like yeah, I really like the idea of everything is just so complicated. It's never straightforward. It's not black and white.
Yeah. I mean, applying that to your friends and lovers and parents and family is it's like definitely a project in and of itself. And
Yeah, like it's like easier to do with your friends for sure because it's like you love them, but like you already, you already like I feel like a lot of people already know this with their friends. Like they give so much grace. But even just with like any like outside of your friends, yeah, I've been really interested in the word recently.
in the what?
Terroir, like I said.
Okay. Can you give a quick definition of terroir?
Environmental or human factors that lead to the flavor of something. And I think it's like really easy to bring that into relationships with people who are like your friends or people who are I think it's okay like it's like hard to bring that idea like terroir or and grace like those things together. I think it's hard to bring those things together with people who are really fucked, like not nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are in a malefic relation to you.
Yeah, but like it's I don't know. I just think it's nice to keep in mind.
Yeah. The things that are us that are not our choice, or the things that like are impacting us and our decisions, that surround us, and just like the environment that we've been brought up in.
Not that you have to be like um passive to them, but just
Right, you
like
can still challenge them and be like, not
yeah,
want to
like
be part of their lives or whatever. Try to,
yeah,
you can
like
still keep them out of your space if you need to.
yes, yes, certainly. Like yes. But just keeping the lens of like life is pure color. Experiences are like so like there are so many things that environmental and human like terroir there are so many things that make up our experience and some flavors yeah we just don't like.
This has been such a fun conversation, and like we could talk for like another like 2 hours if you wanted to. Um, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you all for listening and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The cicadas terrify me. They sing themselves outside history. They no longer hunger, they no longer wait, they no longer suffer the humiliation of distance. They pop out of the ground and they sing, they sing, they sing. What an ecstasy! The song feels sacred, so nothing interrupts it. Nothing interrupts it. Nothing interprets it. Nothing reaches them anymore. They can't be bothered to stop singing. Their little bodies become sealed cathedrals of sound. After 3 days of forgetting to eat, they pass away, still singing. A teenager from Asheville will collect their bodies from the ground and attach their wings to jewelry she sells on Etsy. At least they were never hungry. At least they knew pure color. you.